Hey guys, welcome to Tactics Thursday. So, this is Hearts of Iron 3 for the Motherland. So, as you can see, a couple of Ruskies there with the old PPSH and what appears to be either a flamethrower or a fire hose. So, what we're going to do is just going to do the single player. Now, I'm going to do Road to War because I want to start right from the start. Now, bear in mind, I haven't played this game a huge amount, so I am technically a Hearts of Iron newbie, which means that for those of you out there who are huge fans of this game, this will be a very Aspergy butt-clenching experience for most of you. Think of it like watching a slow car crash happen, or watching a car crash happen in slow motion, I suppose you could say. You know that it's going to happen, you see it coming from a mile away, but you just can't stop watching. Well, at least that's the hope. So, now the question is, do I play as old Blighty? Could play as the French, but as this is all new, I'm going to put the easy mode at the moment, because anything else it will just be, oh my god. Now, I could play as Germany. Now, Germany could be interesting because obviously very expansionist, down into France, taking out Netherlands and Belgium and, you know, places like that, down to France, etc., and then start pushing down maybe towards Spain and get a thing going with Italy. Now, Japan, very interesting. Obviously, you can push into areas of Mongolia, China, nationalist China over here, and bits and pieces. Now, you could play as the Soviet Union, otherwise known as that massive, huge chunk of red there. You've got Latvia and Estonia and Lithuania there, which they took rather early, and Finland, so you know they might end up having to punch up with the Finns as they did in World War II. Or I could play as the Italians. Also, I could play as the Yanks. Now, I could play as the septic tanks, but I don't know. See, the thing is, looking at it from a sort of a newbie's point of view, the USA is probably going to be the easiest one for me because I'm isolated, I'm away from everybody. I don't have to worry about repelling borders. I can slowly, quietly build myself up and probably won't have to join the war until 1941. So you know what? I'm gonna be an American, I'm afraid. Sorry, guys. So, 1936, the Gathering Road to War, January the 1st, 1936, no less. So, let's see how it goes. And we are loading graphics, yes. The raw excitement that is Tactics. You can't beat it. So, there we go. Complete with music in the background. We love it. So, this is our area. This is the United States. In case you weren't aware, if you hadn't been paying attention in geography class, yes. West Coast. East Coast, yes. So, you know, you've got areas of New York and stuff like that, and Washington. And then over on the East Coast, places like San Diego and San Francisco and places like that. So, you've also got a few sort of outlying areas. So this is otherwise known as Pearl Harbor, the island of Oahu. So Honolulu there. And you've got Midway Island and you've got Wake Island as well. And there's a few other pieces around here. Now, if we move over to the Pacific, you can see we have Guam. So Guam's there at the moment. And let's see what else we've got over here. Anything of interest? Well, we got some stuff over at the Philippines. So we have a base and what looks like some submarines and ships. Not aware of a lot of drummers on ships, I have to say. So, as you can see, there's our American Order of Battle. So we got a Guam HQ, which is these boys, and we've got a New York HQ, which is these guys. Now, obviously, you know, I can put them under the control of so on and so forth. So, let's go ahead and close that back in and have a look at the New York HQ. So, click on that and it basically shows you who reports to who. So, basically, you can see he reports to him, and he reports to him, and all the rest of it and stuff like that. So, it's all very good stuff. You can see, you know, supply lines going on there, and other funky stuff like that. So, let's see. Oh, there we go. We can do research. We can do industrial capacity. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to check to see how our resources go. So there's our power, there's our metal, and there's our rare items, and there's oil as well. So you can just see rare materials, metal, and energy. And so it tells you all the basic information. So supplies, fuel, and cash. Now this is more detail here. Manpower, how much manpower you've got in order to do reinforcements. We're not technically at war at the moment. We don't have to worry about such things. So what we're going to do is look to see pool of influence changes positively. Espionage, we are not espionaging as we speak. Officer ratio, there we go, 10,000 officers carrying 236 brigades. And then what we've got here is current descent and national unity, which is 80%. So let's see what's going on diplomatically. Now bear in mind, everything's paused, as you can see here. Everything's paused, so nothing's moving as we speak. So, you know, what I might do is I might automate the trade, just let them get on with it. Now, obviously, you've got certain historics going on, and Italy's got to be at war with France. These will be certain things that need to occur during the course of the battles and the general strategy. And then you can see all these people here, so you can say, okay, the Axis currently are not threatening to the United States in any way. You could go over to Oceania, see Australia, they're not anywhere. Now, let's see what's going on. See if we can find Japan in here somewhere. There you go, Japan currently not even a threat to us. So, we'll wait and see what happens. Now, obviously, this is the triangle showing all the various influences. Comintern, with those lovely Ruskies, Mongolia and Tanu Tuva, wherever the hell he is. You've got Yemen, and also you've got America drifting towards the Allies. And you can see you've got old Yemen's in there, and United Kingdom, yes. And you can see that, you know, various drifting towards the Allies, people, things going on. So we're going to leave that as it is at the moment. So production, as you can see, USS Enterprise being built, should be ready 1936 October the 3rd, so later on in the year. And then same with the air wings that will be part of the Enterprise, same with the USS Yorktown, and the Quincy, and so on and so forth. So at the moment we don't need to build anything. The Guam HQ and the New York HQ do not need anything in addition. You can see convoys will automatically create. They will go off and do whatever they want thanks to the trade. And let's see, we don't need to change any of these at the current moment. So we could say prioritize reinforcement, prioritize upgrades, prioritize production, manual control. So at the moment we'll just leave it on manual control. So let's look at technology. Now this is obviously where we're going to be doing our research. We can do infantry, armor, escorts, capital. Now bear in mind this game is so complicated it sometimes gives me a nosebleed. So, and because of the fact that I'm new at it means that there will be a collection of people out there who will just be chomping at the bit as I make the most obvious newbie mistakes. And yeah, what kind of RTS player are you? What kind of grand strategy player are you? A new one, basically. So either be offended by that or don't be offended by that, but comments are welcome regardless. So we're not going to do anything with that at the moment. Just going to show you all the rest. So politics. So you can't replace the president, head of state, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and you've obviously got the head of government. So those two positions are different. You can see, look, foreign minister, armaments ministers, all the rest of it. You can say, you know, do you want to mobilize your divisions into regular divisions? We don't have to worry about that. We're not at war. You can see these are all the things you can change. Civil laws. So open society means that you get 25% negative on counterintelligence. So obviously you can go up to things like, you know, totalitarian system, always fun. And so, you know, the amount of consumer goods available changes, and also the counterintelligence goes up, and the ruling party support goes up, and partisan efficiency goes up. So, you know, it's kind of a trade-off. So you can see volunteer army. Eventually we might end up moving towards the 3-year draft, and also, you know, other bits and pieces like that, but we'll move in that direction. Massive educational investment, always good. Mixed industry, eventually you might move towards heavy production, heavy industry for all the tanks and all the goodness, and we might end up to being censored press, or possibly state press, so that you can control it. And then this is all the recruiting details here. So we won't get to that for quite some time. Now, intelligence. Yes, we have it. Obviously, I've got domestic spies at the moment, and Germany, I have 1 spy in Germany. Now, the question is, what do I want to do? At the moment, he has no mission set. If I set the mission, I won't be able to change it for a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the priority for Germany. And if I go to Asia, I'm going to increase the priority for Japan. Historically, those are the 2 biggest threats to me. For anybody who remembers their history, even historically, that stuff. So we'll leave that as it stands at the moment. Theatres, obviously these are the various theatres. You've got the Eastern Glacier part. Let's click. Oh, look, there we go. So these are the various theatres. So what you do is you go out here, and we'll go this way a bit, and there's an option in here. Where are you? Theatre map mode. So there we go. So you've basically got the Guam HQ and the New York HQ. That's broken down into 2 theatres. So, you know, whether or not I want to... I might actually break that down into 3. We'll see how it goes. So, the question is, what is going to be the grand strategy? Now, obviously, what I need to do is, historically, the Japanese attack us in Pearl Harbor. Now, that was primarily because of things like the desire for resources, the desire to increase their Pacific gains. They are limited to coal and oil, to what they can have. So America put an embargo on the coal and the oil and all the rest of it, and they were kind of forced into a position. But they didn't have to react the way they did, but they did anyway. That doesn't matter. So the question is, do I need to start improving the defences of Honolulu, and obviously getting the Honolulu division increased, maybe some people down at the Naval Centre? I think that's definitely a way we could go, because these areas, the likes of Wake Island and Midway, they're going to be very important in my Pacific strategy, because they're going to be the ones who are going to basically reach forward into the Pacific, help maintain that New Guinea, the Philippines and places around here are all going to be okay. So, and obviously, you know, you've got the Aussies down here and the Kiwis as well. They'll obviously want to make sure that we're relatively secure. So, it's in our interest that we start building up this area here. Now, what we're going to do after that, so you've got a couple of things. Oh, look, there's the old Panama Canal. Very nice, very nice. And obviously, you've got the coast of Puerto Rico. So just off of areas of Cuba and other things like that. So there we go, the Dominican Republic. So what we do then, obviously, is Germany's going to start marching its way through France and so on and so forth. Now, there's a good chance that what we can do is send an expeditionary force over to the United Kingdom and then aid France in pushing back Germany. Now, historically, Germany came in. Let me just get the map mode up. Where is it? Where is it? God damn it. I don't want weather. Political. Okay, so what happened is they came through Belgium. They didn't push down here, because this is where you had the Maginot Line, defended by France. So they essentially came through Belgium and then hit France and basically down through that way. So there's a good chance that based on that advantage, they are going to come from there. Now, obviously, it also means that the Italians are going to be trying to push in this area. So it could be possible that we either end up, depends on which is the biggest threat to us, could be Germany, could be Italy, or we might end up having to split our forces. But either way, I want to start moving towards, oh, nice little Azores out in the middle of nowhere. I want to start building up resources and troops to lead a potentially expeditionary force to Europe to assist Grand Breton and the French from kicking the Germans' ass, or to assist them. So obviously Spain, they are going to be kind of slightly pro-German, as they did help them in, I think, the 1933 Civil War, I think it was. But I guess we'll find out. So let's see what's going on. There's the theatres. We'll not be able to think. Now, as you can see, needing 2 vehicles there. You can change the defensive stance. Let's leave them with the defensive stance. Immediate needs. And not much is going on. So, okay, so what we need to do then is we need to come to a plan with respect to technology. Now, diplomacy, not going to be doing a lot of that. I'm going to put diplomacy down quite low, because at the moment there will be some diplomacy, but there won't be a huge amount that's going to affect me. Primarily what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be marching towards war. So I need to build up my resources, I need to build up my training, and I need to improve things in that respect. Now, obviously, I'm going to leave the officers there. To, I reckon about 4, actually. 4 might be a good number. 4.2, let's leave it at that, otherwise we'll be here forever. Now, espionage, that can go down lowish. We'll leave that at 4 as well. 4, no, 3 point something, 3.94, that'll do you. And then we lock it in place with a right click. So that's now locked in place. And so, as you can see, we've got 25.22 into research. So, basically it means we can have 25 projects running for research. So, the question is, where do we go first? Now, what I'm thinking is that what I want to do is I want to improve my industry. That will give me more industrial capacity. I can then start doing things with that. Now, you can see here, oil refinery improves the ability for you to create oil from fuel from your oil refineries, stuff like that. That's going to be advantageous. Want to improve our industrial proficiency. See, 12.5% on the industrial capacity, another 12.5. So I think both of those, double click, and as you can see, January the 14th, 1937. So it's going to take about a year to do that, but we can change this with priorities and everything. So, as you can see, 1940 won't be able to create the mechanical computing machine. Says he readjusting himself, as this is serious stuff we're talking here. And let's look at, now you can see the dates down the side here. It's what you're limited to, what you can do, what you can't do, by what year. You don't want to be doing stuff ahead. So, I mean, that's technically what I'm doing. So, actually, we'll screw that. So, I want to find stuff around 1936 that will benefit us. You can see radio detection equipment. There we go. Let's do that. That'll be advantageous. May 1936. That'll be good for us. Now, the thing is, what we've also got in here is things like oil refinery, steel production, coal processing technologies. Now, the thing is, if we look here, you can see 0.05 every day in fuel. Now, if we look at our resources here, it changes by 782. That's a lot of energy. We got surplus of that, surplus of that, surplus of that, and surplus of oil. So, literally, we're massively over-resourced. So, obviously, the trade will help get rid of lots of that and give us loads of money, which is advantageous. Now, let's see, because now, as you can see here, cavalry, light cavalry, infantry, support weapons, very helpful. Rushing your enemies into attack, basically doing very quick attacks. You've got small arms, light artillery. Now, I'm thinking, see, these are 1918. I'm thinking what I need to do is focus and get the small arms up as quickly as possible. And obviously, you've got other things here, like, you know, Arctic warfare and stuff. You don't get to do airborne yet. See, 1941. Mechanized infantry, says he, using the correct pronunciation, and airborne infantry. So, let's see what else we got here. Now, we can improve the armor, but that's going to make it slower. So, let's see, destroyers, they're doing okay. We could probably start improving things like destroyers. Now, obviously, for those people who remember the history, submarines, very key part of the battle, especially in the Atlantic. So it could be that we could start working on submarines, and we could send submarines out as the kind of to assist England and France if they come under attack from Germany in that area of the North Sea. So now the thing is, the capital ships. historically, capital ships, especially the battleships, are becoming a white elephant or white horse or whatever the hell you call it. The carrier. That was really what changed, especially with the Battle of Midway. 1942, I think that was. Basically changed the way that warfare was done. So I think what we need to do is we need to focus on the anti-aircraft and pretty much bring that in, bring it up to a certain level that basically means that we can field a good fleet of anti-aircraft. Obviously, you're going to need cruisers and other pieces to go with that. So, and also, let's see what we can do plane-wise. Basic bomb. We like basic bombs. Air-launched torpedo, that would be very helpful, but unfortunately can't get till 1939. See, obviously, you know, these are all things that you can get, things that you can't, etc., etc., stuff that you already know. As you can see, it tells you there. Let's have a look. Fighters. 1914, you can't have any of that, can't have any... Well, we could have some of that, but that's really... Difficulty is really difficult on the aero engine, but... I wonder. Industry. Now, education. I think that's an important thing. Coal refinery, all this kind of stuff. This is important stuff, I think. Loving the music in the background there. It's very, very nice indeed. So let's get education in there as well. So you can see September the 29th. Looking good. Let's check. Can't do anything secret. No nuclear bombs yet, boys, I'm afraid. Sorry. Now, the thing is, let's see what that gives us. Submarine research, new technologies for our subs. You know what? I want some of that, because the submarines are going to be a key part of my naval plans. So I need those guys in there, and I'm going to put naval engineering research in there, because obviously what we want to do is improve our ships and everything as they make their way through the system. So let's see, land, mobile warfare. That's a big thing. I think we need, right, so we need mobile warfare, we need operational level command structure, and let's have a look. Yeah, we got, that's 8. Whoa, it's very difficult to do. Let's have a look. Infantry warfare. See, that'll delay. So I think we need infantry warfare. We also need that, because that'll delay time in between attacks. And let's see, large front. We'll put that in there as well. So, because most of these guys are going to be, you know, getting into a battle. Let's look at naval. Sea lane defense, submarine doctrine, trade interdiction. Yes, I know, I said interdiction. So we can't really do any of that until sort of 1937. What can we do air-wise? 1936. Flight training. Let's do some of that. And as you can see, we've got 11 projects of 25. So we've still got some time to do plenty of others. Actually, that one there down the bottom. Ground crew we need to get rid of, because that's 1938. Interception tactics, control. Let's see, what else have we got there? Tactical air command, and also airborne assault tactics. So that's kind of all that we can do in the sort of theory and stuff like that. So let's get back to our capital ships. Can we do anything there? See, 1934. Gonna put that in, gonna put that in. Now, obviously, what I want to do is I want to put the carrier armour up the top, and I'll put the carrier engine up the top. Oh, we're going to have the aircraft hangar as well. So what I want to do, because the thing is, if I can get these researched before those carriers come out, I can't remember if it'll actually affect it or not, so I guess we'll find out. So you've got 1936. See, the thing is, you don't really want a carrier fleet with a battleship in it. You really kind of have carriers, heavy cruisers, and destroyers. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some of this in here. So we're going to take main armament, cruiser engines, and then look at the destroyers. Main armament on destroyers. Engine, armor. Okay, and then if we can do anything on here, can we? See, we've got 2 more projects I think we can do now. So let's have a look here. Let's increase the power of the gun and increase the reliability. So as you can see, we're doing all right there, and we're locked into 25 on the research at the moment. So that's looking pretty good. Nothing we need to do here, nothing at all. IC is being wasted, that's good for it. And we just need to unpause it. So there we go. So what I can do now is, while it's running, is I can get organising my HQs. Now the question is, do I want... See, this says Guam HQ, but it's nowhere near Guam, which doesn't seem to strike me as being that sensible. Now the question is, what do I do here? I could, that's a level 3, that's the Army Corps, 3rd Army Corps, under Bolt, good old Bolt. I could, oh, heavy planes, US fighter wing, as you can see, there we go, Curtiss P-36, quite an old plane. Hopefully our plane upgrades will improve some of that. Battleship fleet under Nimitz, the tactician behind Wake Island, I think it was. Was it Wake Island? No, Midway, thank you, sorry. So there we go. Gormley Reeves, cruiser fleets, Pacific destroyer fleets, and submarines, yay. Oh, there's the transport fleet, which is what we will use to transport people over to the sunny island of Oahu and Honolulu. So, all good stuff. Aha, here we go. Now, as you can see, the president, we're being told, diplomatic influence is being used on us by the United Kingdom to drift towards their faction. So the English there are basically trying to influence us to join them. Now, personally, I think it's only a matter of time before that happens. But I guess we'll have to find out. So, right, okay. France has reported, we've not forgotten the night of the 1934. Government of United Left uses to heal the wounds, yada yada yada. Okay, whatever. So the French are getting their shit together, which is good news for them. So unfortunately, for them, they actually, historically, the Maginot Line only went up to here. They didn't actually start moving the Maginot Line until Germany was kind of technically on the move. By then it was too late, blah blah blah. But anyway, that's in no way to judge the French. This was a completely different time, and policies and focus for a country tends to change. So if we look at this, that is the New York headquarters. Now, I don't like the name New York. I'm going to name it differently. CNC West. So that's basically Commander-in-Chief West, which basically will make this guy over here, wherever he is, here we go, CNC East. So Commander-in-Chief East. Now, if I manage to get a commander or an HQ down to this area, then he could be named after basically what would be the CNC Pacific Fleet, or CNC PAC, or possibly CNC PAC FLT, which would basically be the Pacific Fleet, which is kind of a lot of the nomenclatures, God, what a word, or synonyms that the actual Americans use these days, com sub lant and all that kind of stuff. So I read way too much Tom Clancy. So what we're going to do is we are going to move this guy out of the way, because I want this guy to stay put. He's just called Connors HQ? Connors, yeah. So we are just going to move him to the desert, and I'm going to send this guy down to here, because this is where the transport is. But then, actually, no. You know what? let's get the transport guys to go and collect him. There we go. To San Diego. So we're just going to tell them to rebase there temporarily. They'll rebase there, and then we'll get this boy all the way down to that place, sunny Honolulu. So we'll call this guy CNC PAC FLT, CNC Pacific Fleet, and he has no leader. So the question is, who can we select? Nobody. Craig. Offense. I see. What I need is somebody who knows how to defend and look after things. Now, obviously, you've got Lejeune, who is a commando. Oh, God, no, don't want him. Logistics wizards. Oh, what's this? Fortress buster. No, that means he can break in. Engineer and fortress buster. Not really. Defensive doctrine. See, F. Martin. See, that could be a possibility. Don't know. Don't know on that one. What's he? Oh, guard. Trickster. Surprise chance. He'll be a good boy for doing encircling motions. Right, let's choose Somerville. Come on, where is he? Ah, there we go. So Somerville is now in charge, is basically going to be CNC Pacific Fleet. And we're going to wait for him to come there. We're going to get this guy, who currently has no leader. And we want him. I'd rather have him as a logistics wizard, but I think we're going to have to go with Craig for the time being. So that's Craig. He's in charge. He is CNC East, and we are going to move him down to there. So basically, CNC East is going to be down there, and then you'll have them controlling here. We might need to make a new HQ out here. I don't know. So you've got essentially CNC West, CNC East, and what is to be CNC Pacific Fleet, which will basically be stationed in Honolulu. So these are the basic setup that I'm doing at the moment, and we obviously will be bringing you the next episode of Tactics Thursday next week. Thanks for listening and watching and doing other things too.